First up, we have Antonio González Viegas from that Open company. So Marketing 101 demands that product offerings must solve real-world problems that cause you as users pain. To do so, they must first identify that pain, thoroughly understand it, and then begin to solve it. So to learn more, please welcome Antonio to the stage.
Thank you very much. That title is a bold claim. Let's see if it survives the next 30 minutes. So every time when we come at events like this, we always ask, what is the new tool? What is the latest feature? What is the better workflow? And those are fair questions, but I think they are steering us in the wrong direction, because they assume that the solution to our problems is in the tools. And I'm not so sure about that anymore. Let me tell you why. I'm Antonio. I am the founder of that Open company. We make open source technology to make BIM software, like the one you see in events like this, or the one you use day in, day out. Our technology is used by over 1,000 companies today, including some big names like RIB, or Bosch, or Enel, or FCC, or Ferrovial, or even Cesium. So we also have a community of over 10,000 developers building things on top of our open source work. We've spent years very close to the problem, not selling software, but watching people try to build things with our work. And this is where this talk comes from. We pay a lot of money for applications that are decades old and take 10 minutes to open real-world models. And then we make design decisions that are shaped by the limitations of the software we use, not by what the project basically needs. The tools built for collaboration are very expensive in our industry. We know teams that are spending $600,000 just to be able to work together. And still, we need to buy more tools because you need to do more things. And still, we keep coordinating using emails and meetings and snapshots. So, and of course, interoperability, right? Who doesn't love OpenBIM? In theory, it's great. One open, unified, single standardized language so that all the tools can work together flawlessly. And yet, still today, we keep losing data when we export and import. And we're still remodeling things from scratch when something doesn't work. We spent many hours with visual programming tools to fix things or to fix problems that the software created. And we create, or sometimes buy, plugins to make up for gaps in the applications that cost 6 figures a year. And of course, we have to pay for 3 different softwares to make only one workflow, and we keep paying more and more money every year for the same features. And this isn't coincidental. This is how software is supposed to work in our industry, and I think that the quarterly numbers of many BIM software companies reflect this situation. This is the consequence of an operating model that has been designed around a single thing: software scarcity. You know, making BIM software is hard, and you can ask around. Many people here make BIM software professionally. You need a very special team with a very special knowledge, many millions, many years, out of reach for most companies in AEC, of course. And the operating model that we have today was born with this scarcity, and it thrives on it. Of course, today that has changed, because with AI, now companies with enough domain knowledge can actually create the tools that they need. And this is not theory, this is not a promise, this is already happening today. And in fact, all the software that I will show you today, both in this presentation and in the next presentation, were fully done with AI. And a lot of it was done by people who has zero knowledge about programming. So in this new world of software abundance, the old model stopped making sense. It stops making sense adapting how you work to the limitations of the software that you're offered. It stops making sense. Paying for 5 different applications with many features that you never requested but you're still charged for. It stops making sense. Basically investing in software that you don't own because always it is rented, right? So the manufacturer has the power to take it away or to raise the price when they want to. And in summary, it stops making sense trying to make yet another BIM 2.0 or BIM 3.0 or whatever tool that thrives on this software scarcity. So we haven't made another BIM tool. We have made a BIM operating system called that Open Platform. And that Open Platform is basically a place where you can build applications that adapt to how you work, connect them to your projects, and operate everything together. Let me show you what this means exactly with 4 different examples. So in that Open Platform, you can create any software, any BIM solution, and it is very easy because that Open Platform basically gives you all the things that are hard about software. It gives you the BIM foundation, the cloud infrastructure, the security layers, the roles, everything. And of course, you don't have to build everything from scratch because it already comes with a number of pre-made applications. And actually, the day we release it, it will come with a CDE, a model checker, and more to come. So let me explain you what this small demo is about. Basically, this is that Open Platform. You see it has a number of projects. And then I open one, and I see the CDE that comes with the platform. But of course, I need an application to show you what this platform can do. So yes, I mean, we have a super powerful 3D viewer and everything. But now I go to my local machine, and I ask Cloud Code, and it can be any AI actually, hey, please, can you make an application that allows me to demonstrate the capabilities of the platform to the audience? And I will start working on it. And as you see, I have all the software locally, so I actually own the software. And I can start requesting features, and because it has all the context of all the BIM knowledge that we have accumulated over these years, and all the context of the platform, it's actually very easy and very fast to create something serious. And at some point, I want to see the software, so I request Cloud, hey, can you please show it to me? And then I basically go to the platform, go to the local part of the project, and I can see what Cloud built. Of course, this video is accelerated, but it took like 10 minutes to create something like this. And I want more features because I want to show you GIS integration, and I want to show you collaboration and interoperability and things that you will see in a moment. So I simply ask for more, and it keeps adding more. And I see the changes in real time without coding anything. And let's see if it does it. Yeah, it's probably going to ask me some questions, and then, yeah, it updates. And here it is. This application was a models checker / GIS viewer / collaboration tool. You will see in a moment what it does. And here I'm loading a local IFC from my machine. I can select elements, and you see I have beautiful graphics, very efficient, and all the properties and the property trees and all the things you expect from many BIM softwares. Now, this tool I have locally, of course, but I cannot use it in a real project because in a project you work with other people. So I can basically go and say, can you please publish this in the platform so I can share it? And it will do it. So basically now I can go to the project and add a new application, the application that I just deployed, and I can version it, I can keep maintaining it, and yeah, of course this is super flexible. And you see the application pops up there, right, beside the CDE, and I have it here, and now anyone in my team can use it with the roles and the security and all the things that the platform offers. And one interesting thing is that because everything is connected in the platform, the moment you publish something, it has access to all the data that you store in the CDE. So that means, let me go back to where I was. That means that, yeah, let's see, if I load an IFC, I can load an IFC coming directly from the CDE. This one is a bit bigger, and I have everything. I have the GIS layers and other things that I will show you in a moment. But basically, this was done super fast, and it's deployed and it's ready to be used in real projects, basically. The second thing you can do in the platform is, because we have full control of what happens, and that basically means that we can set up collaboration workflows. In this specific demo, you see that what I have vibe coded here is basically on the left, we have a list of all the people contributing to the project with a list of contributions, and on the right, we have something like Git. So you have all the list of changes, so you have a perfect trace of who did what when. And you can ask things like, tell me the history of this element, or tell me what this person did this week, basically. And the cool thing about this is that you can set up collaboration workflows. And yes, you can, of course, call things so that you can see who did what. But again, this is something vibe coded, so you can do it this way, or you can do it any other way that you see fit, basically. And then you can go to Revit, and Revit is connected, so you can pretty much set up the same thing that you would do in ACC Collaborate if you want to, or if you hate ACC Collaborate, of course, you can do other things. And you can make any change, you can stream the changes, and the changes pop up directly in the platform, and you can connect your applications with those changes. And I can see what changed, who changed, and I can go back, I can go forth, I can do anything I want, because in the end of the day, everything is just data and logic, right? And of course, that means that if you have multiple instances of Revit that are connected to the platform, everyone will see the changes in real time. And yes, you can set up permissions, yes, you can lock elements, you can set up ownership logic, you can do, again, anything you like. So you can just copy what the solution Autodesk proposes or other people propose, or you can come up with your own way of collaborating in your studio, basically. Then, of course, I'm talking about Revit because Revit is king, at least for now, but Revit is not the only player in the industry. And this thing that I'm showing you actually works with anything that has an open API. And that means that you can basically come with Rhino, for example, and you can get the data from the platform, and you can start working in Rhino, and you can stream that data, and that basically works with the logic that you set in the platform. And yeah, here we are modeling something in the facade, and then we stream the change. And the moment the change is streamed, everything is data, so everything plays the same game, and you can do whatever you like with that data. So let's see, notification, something happened, and you see that the change that was made in Rhino just appears in the same history as the changes made in Revit. And of course, that means that you can take this data and bring it to other applications like Revit or Blender or Archicad or wherever you work. And yes, because you do this your way, when you do this natively, which means that when you import things back into Revit, you can have your families, your systems, your logic. So we are not trying to solve interoperability in a global way. We are not trying to invent a language that everyone speaks because we think that that doesn't work. What we're doing is we are giving you the technology and the tools that allow you to say something like, I have these elements in Rhino and I expect to see these elements in Revit. And this is something actually very easy to solve and something that the platform can allow you to vibe code if you want to. Yeah. And we're in Revit, and we see the element that we just modeled in Rhino, and here it is. And in this case, it's a generic object, but it could be any parametric family that you want, basically. Of course, this also means that automation becomes trivial because everything is just data flowing and logic that you set up to tell the platform what you want to do with that data. So that basically means that you can set up things like this. In this example, I'm going to go to the project. I'm going to go to the project, and I'm going to add a cloud clash detector that I also vibe coded. And then I will set up an automation that basically tells the platform whenever a file is updated or uploaded, please run this clash detection. And this basically means that everyone makes a change and stream data to the platform. The clash detection will run, and it will be very fast because it doesn't need to fight all the objects against all the objects, only the things that change. So yeah, so for example, imagine that I go to Revit and I move a random object around, and then I stream the change, and then I get that change into the platform. So the data gets updated, and the automation triggers, and it basically does what I want it to do, which is run the clash detection with the new objects. And in this case, it did detect a clash, so I can see it, and it brings me there, and it can do whatever you like with it. It can automatically solve it, it can notify the people that did it, using the plugin or using standards by BCF. You can do pretty much whatever you like. Again, we are not telling you how you have to work, we are just giving you the technology so that you do whatever you want with it. And of course, this also means a change in the economic model. We think that it doesn't make any sense to pay for seats, because if you have 30 licenses and one person doesn't touch the software that month, you still pay for that person, right? So in this platform, the payment is for usage, which means that if you have 30 people and only 2 people use the platform intensely that month, and then the rest are hanging around doing some things, but just that, you only pay for 2. And this is how infrastructure costs work, and this is how we think software costs should work. And of course, I think you probably also inferred that from the demos that you saw, but all the software that you create is yours. So that means that if you're not happy with the pricing, you can always take your applications and bring it somewhere else if you want, which is not going to be hard with cloud, to be honest. So no locking, crazy, right? And basically, one more thing, sorry, because I almost forgot this. All the things that you saw until now were, visualizing things that were modeled in other applications and other softwares. So you might be thinking, okay, so this is a platform that allows me to automate and to collaborate and to interoperate. And yes, you can use the platform like that. But we have also developed a modeling API. Yes, it will also be open source. And yes, it already covers all the hardest pieces of making a modeler, including transactions and types and materials and scalability, so that you can view millions of elements at 60 FPS and open them super fast. And yes, as you see in this small demo, I'm basically using some of the families that I created, because the system allows you to define your own families. So you see we have walls and doors and windows and stairs and curtain walls, and we have, as you see, types, and we have type properties and instant properties, and you can define any system you like. So you can have a family that is like a whole building system that basically allows you, I don't know, if you're McDonald's, for example, and you always build the building the same way, you can create a system that actually builds the whole building for you automatically. So this is, of course, not the new Revit. This is, of course, not the new BIM modeler. This is the system that allows you to define how you want to work and how you want to model. So you don't have to rely on existing modelers if you don't want to. You can just create your own thing. And yes, of course, this is just the first version, so it's still a path ahead of us. But, we managed to solve the viewer, and we are pretty sure that we will manage to solve this as well, probably between this year and next year. We'll see. You can see curtain walls, and yes, sticky snapping and transactions and Control Y, Control C, saving, loading, all the things. Of course, because with the same data flow that I described before, anything that you model in the platform with the authoring applications that you create, you can also stream back to the authoring applications that you like. So you can have that data back in Revit with your native families and your systems and anything you like, or in Rhino, or in Blender, or in Excel, wherever you like, really. Anything with an open API can connect to this, and everything is modular, so you don't have to ask for permission. You can just build your connector, and it will basically work out of the box. So this is what we have built. Until now, we have built free and open source libraries, and we will keep doing that. And we won't stop until we open source every single BIM feature out there, and we make it available for anyone to not have to solve the same problems over and over again. We will really break that entry wall. And now with the platform, you can basically use all that open source technology that we have built, and we will keep building, to make something real, to build real workflows, and to stop paying so much money for so much software that tells you how to work and offers you so many features that you don't need, but you still pay for, right? And of course, we think that the era of software scarcity is ending. That won't happen overnight. Your software stack tomorrow will look a lot like your software stack today. But we are building for what we think it's coming, and that we think that what's coming is going to be great for the end users in the industry. Of course, what we are showing you today, we haven't shown this before. This is the first time that we're showing this in public. And we will release this in June 22nd with a unique opportunity to become a founding member, which basically means that the people who get in first will have special conditions that won't repeat in the future. We really want to start working first with the people who know the problem deeply well. So we'll see. If in the next slide there's a QR code, so if you are curious and you want to check it out, you can simply scan it and it will take you to a web page where you can register your interest. I will be around for any questions, happy to talk, happy to answer them. And yeah, thank you very much.